All right, so this is just an update a year later after some modifications to my 1985 Suzuki LT250EF Quad Runner. Major modifications to this thing were the front shocks and the tires on drive rims on the front. That gave me a bit more clearance, and it's an old pile of junk, so it's kind of hard to get any performance out of it. But just for going on trails like these and hitting a little bit of mud holes, it's decent enough. It gets us around nice and cheap and fun. It has the toolbox on the front that holds gas cans and a shovel, and the back is the seat, and it's got stirrups for the kids for their feet as well. These are 25-inch tires front and rear, and the biggest repair, the best repair I've ever done to it was A, the brakes, and B, the carburetor, and C, the valve adjustment. And I did this all by myself, but the valve adjustment got done this winter past. And there's my son in the truck. He's saying hey. The valve adjustment really chilled this thing out in between gears and in neutral. When we go in between like forward and reverse, it would rev right up. That valve adjustment was so much simpler than I'd ever thought it would be. And it's just made it just ride better, idle better. It gave it a couple extra oomph, you know. I think these things are only 8 or 10 or 12 horsepower or something like that, but they, you know, that valve adjustment just made the whole experience so much better. And this is like our first official, 45-minute long trail ride today, and we weren't on the trail. We're just on like the crown land. We don't hit trails with this thing. It is too small, it is too cramped for multiple people, and it's just too slow to keep up and with modern machines. But something like this belongs on a farm or on a piece of property where you can need to tow around a little trailer or make a little work box for it. And this has no rear suspension. If you're looking at the 85s, 86s, I believe in 87s when the second gen came out, and you got a full rear suspension, even if it was two-wheel drive. But this is like a lawn tractor. It's got a solid tail, solid chain, like it's a chain drive, solid axle going through the back there. So you got to really rely on these tires to give you your suspension. There's nothing back there. So you got your gas tank on the right, exhaust on the left. It's a hardtail going to a carrier bearing and chain. So even if I'm alone, I can kind of stand on it and use my legs as suspension. But with my little guy or my daughter on the back, it's just pounds the crap out of them. So it's okay on the crown land where it's expected you're going to be going a lot slower. But yeah, buddy, you found a coin. That's amazing, buddy. We'll get an ice cream with it, okay? But to be expected on the crown lands is, you're going to be pretty much going whatever. This thing crawls really well, I'll tell you, with that first gear super low with those 25s on the back. But the top end's like 60K max on flat land, if you're lucky, if you can get the thing going straight. So basically last year when I was testing it out, I had the windshield on it. I did take it off, but with the kids on it, with what this can do, I put it back on as a deflector for rocks, and I'll just wipe it off with a handkerchief and keep it clean. But it's the winch still works. It towed us out. Me and my daughter got stuck in a mud hole last year when we were riding it. Yeah, I have added to this, never had the parking brake lever or the cable going to it, so I added that, which has been just such a godsend when you need to stop and park on the trail. And you can see where the top, I don't know if this will catch it, see where the top one is? You've got the brake there. The bottom one's the foot brake, top one's your parking brake. And it's just a godsend having when you need to really stop and park it and just let people by. You're on a bit of an incline. It's great to have. It's on there like that right now. Out of that little mirror I got at the junkyard. Silly little things like this padded thing here with these two sharp zip ties, which is a bad idea. I should just take the zip ties off. But everything works. The lights work. I changed the rectifier. I don't have a video on that. I just dog's breakfast wired it in, and it holds a charge. All the lights work, and I think that's been, you know, I've had this thing 20, 21, 22, and now in the beginning of 23. So 3 solid years. And we still have fun. My daughter loves it. My son's not as much into it. He's 6 now. He doesn't mind. He loves watching dirt bikes ride by. But like I said, this is more of a work bike. If you get one of these, or if you're looking at buying one of these to hit trails, don't. Get the newer one, the 87 and up. If you're looking at old bikes that you're going to fix up, or quads, I mean, get something with full rear suspension, full front suspension, something with a lot more give. This thing has like two inches of play, I think. Like, look how low those fenders are to it. So it's not that they're small tires, or it's not that it's a super small machine. It just doesn't have a lot of give. It's not as agile. I mean, I can spin it around. I'm pretty sparse. I'm pretty yeah, bud, we're rolling. I'll get it loaded up. I'm pretty agile on the trails myself, so I can kick this thing around pretty good on my own. But with the kids, it's kind of futile. So if you're looking at one of these, ask yourself why. If it's just to have some fun with, yeah, bud. Money? Ice cream? Ice cream money? Okay, you're gonna keep it? We'll go get some ice cream, okay? No? Okay, fine. That's up to you, man. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up because the little man's getting a little impatient there, I can tell. Anyways, these are more like lawn tractors, and they're good for pulling like little trailers behind you, doing work around a homestead or a farm or something on the cheap, if you don't want to get a brand new machine or side by side, or if you know, not a great heavy duty mud bogger, and we've done the mud bogging with it, but I would highly suggest at least go with something with full suspension, whether it be a Honda TRX or like the old 250s, 300 350s, or the QuadRunner 250s and 300 King quads with the full suspensions. Even the Moto 4s, the old Yamahas with the full suspensions, anything. So if you're gonna definitely off-road it or take people on it purposely, or try and get into the sport. Oh my God, is it? That's amazing. $200 in your hand. So yeah, that's been my experience of 3 years of owning it and wrenching on it, taking it apart, doing the electronics, trying to tune the suspension, this Amazon suspension that I have on it, and making it usable. It just barely gets by. Yes, bud?
You're rich of this coin.
Oh, thanks, bud. I guess I am now.
Because you have so many of them.
Yeah. I know this bike inside out, this quad, and I've literally just done the valve adjustments, and I've had the carb off it a few times. I've had it apart, sealing it up, trying to seal
Daddy,
leaking oil. Hang on, little buddy. Okay, I'm almost done.
I'm rich of toys.
Yes, you are. And I can handle it. It is a workout. It is a pain. It is small. And it's been fun, but it's definitely, I wouldn't recommend it for a trail beater. I would recommend, if you find one of these that you're looking for a work bike on flat ground around a farm, that's when you should, get something like this, or spend some money, as a matter of fact, and try and get a good one. So anyways, that's not coming free. I was gonna hook that onto the rack there before I get her loaded up in the truck here. But anyways, I'm gonna end this video. Yeah, a couple things I've added there. I just mentioned about the brake. I had to do a rectifier on it last year, and then in November, and then I've always been messing with the wires. They always rubbed and arced and wrecked stuff. And other than that, it's still fun. Whatever. Like, it's fun, and it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more got of a stance going on it with these bigger tires. Instead of the 21s or 22s, they come with factory. The 25s on the front kind of level it out, make it look a little bit more like it belongs out here. But at the end of the day, you can jack anything up you want, and you gotta walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. If it looks like it belongs out here, it's different than it actually belonging out here or on the actual trails. So out here, like I said, it's okay, but when it comes to the trails, when you have to buy a pass, those trails are pretty intense, and they need higher performance machines, much larger suspensions, higher performing suspensions that can really handle the bumps and the angles, stuff you're gonna hit, which this thing's like a lawn tractor. It's got not much, if any, flex to it. So I hope that was informative, and if there's any questions on this machine, let me know. And If I might just do a silent walk around video of this on another occasion, but right now she's gonna go for a little wash and she's gonna get parked. So that's it for now.